भैरवकालिके नमोस्तुते। ओम नमो भैरवाय नमो 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 भैरवाय। जय माता, जय माता, जय माता, जय श्री बामा खेपा, जय श्री श्यामा खेपा, जय खेपा परंपरा, जय मां। So good morning, and we're back on yet another video. An extremely warm day in Chennai today, and as always during warm days, the Garbhagriha is at its own level in terms of the heat. It sort of traps up Devi's energies. It traps the heat to such an extent that the Garbhagriha is much more warmer than what it is just few feet outside of the Garbhagriha on the corridor. So today's video is about the 5 deadly enemies, the 5 deadly people, or the five deadly kinds of people that one must be very careful of and must ensure that you either brutally remove them, or stumban, you make them stop in their tracks and destroy their ability to continue doing that harm which they are doing presently, or remove that ground from beneath their feet, thereby rendering them helpless to continue your attacks towards you. So how do you perform stumban? I'm not going to sit here and talk to you about tantric methods of performing stumban, because the ability of tantrics today is not at the highest levels. It is extremely showy and weak. Most of them are full of words and air, but at best they cannot harm a bee. That is how weak they are. That is why Krishna happened. That is why he came out and told people that in the rituals there is going to be weakness and showiness, showmanship and magic tricks and all that, but your body is the yantra and you have to get down and clean, right? So so when I say stumban, it does not mean the stumban prayoga, but the act of rendering the enemy absolutely invalid and unable to attack you or destroy you or continue the attack towards you in any way. It could be physically by knowing how to take him down, realizing that he is categorized in one of the more dangerous categories of these 5 categories that I'm going to give you, that Sri Krishna spoke to Arjuna about, which is mentioned in the Artha Shastra, which is mentioned in the Dharma Shastra. So it is as per the Shastras, right? If there is an organic way that you can take them out, you will. Otherwise, there is another way in which you will surrender that person absolutely at your asana. I have already spoken about the offering of the alcohol to the altar of Bhairava at your own house. If you can do that and surrender the enemy there, well and good, you are done. Or you will organically, if it is karmically meant that you have to take them out, you will have to take them out. If it is a karmic rana bandhana between you and that person, then you have to take him out. There is absolutely nothing. No matter how much you try to sit in an asana and crib or try to ignore them, they will keep coming up. So it's like Arjuna and Duryodhana. No matter what Arjuna does, no matter how many times Arjuna, through Sri Krishna, through Yudhishthira, give Duryodhana a chance, he doesn't take it. No matter what, he forces them to come and battle him in the Kurukshetra, and thereby bringing his own destruction. So if the arrow has to physically go and pierce, it has to pierce. Otherwise, you will merely be able to, for most people, you will merely be able to remove the ground from under their feet, thereby rendering them helpless and useless and no longer able to attack you in any way by merely attaining shunyata. So Duryodhana, if we are not the body, if we are not the mind, so Duryodhana falling dead on the Kurukshetra field, or him no longer existing in your psyche, in your consciousness, simply means he's again shunyata. So it is not that the body should die, or your enemy's career should die, or your enemy's family should get destroyed, or your enemy should come to the streets. Only then you are able to attain victory over that person and able to move on. No, merely by attaining that state where he is no longer even able to have the slightest impact on you or your consciousness, you have attained shunyata and you have destroyed them. So there are 2 ways to destroy enemies, right? So let us go into the 5 categories of enemies as described by Sri Krishna to Arjuna. The arsonist, the one who, this is in very simple terms, this is the one who will light fire into your, in the olden terms, people would blindly transliteration of this happen, that somebody who will set fire to your house, somebody who will set fire to your business place, somebody who would set fire to your palace, somebody who would set fire and kill you when you were in the, Lakshagraha. The Pandavas were almost killed by the Duryodhana and his treacherous act. So that is what people thought it meant, but it is not just that, it is beyond that. Somebody who's trying to burn your life, somebody who's trying to take you out merely by finding ways that will lit a fire in you and remove your peace. The moment you lose your sleep, the moment you lose your peace, somebody has lit a fire. It need not be a physical fire that is going to burn down the four walls of your house. It could be something that could merely make you burn within as you sit very peacefully in your AC room. Somebody who can have that impact on you should be categorized as an enemy and should be singled out, and you should have your eye on them. What should you do? You can either surrender that person. First and foremost is to identify that this person is specifically attained shunyata, come to your own state of zeroness, and without any emotions attached, without any friendship, love, anger, greed, jealousy, nothing. Put everything aside and analyze and understand that this person is an enemy and he is specifically causing issues to you in your life. Once you have categorized that person, no matter what he is, attain shunyata. Realize whether you will be able to organically take them out. If it is somebody in your company doing something and it is specifically somebody is lighting a fire, when as much as possible jaake kar raha and you by the kripa of Devi you are able to identify that person and take them out organically by going through the dharmic path, or attain shunyata by surrendering that person, having absolutely no reaction to that person, but only at the altar where you offer the karana to Bhairava, sit there and kripa. Otherwise be non-reactive. The two ways to take down this. Somebody who is lighting fire everywhere in your life. It could be a relative, it could be a friend, it could be family, it could be a neighbor. But the one who is lighting fire, not the physical fire, not just putting fire on you, the act that causes you the pain of burning, the act that causes you to have the feeling that everything is burning down because this person is continuously after you, then physically make sure that you are rendering them helpless by reacting. Number one, if there is an organic way to react, react karo. Organic way nahi hai, enemy is too big, then what happens? What did Ma Panchali do in the Darbar? Bhari Sabha. She sits there and finally organically kuch bhi nahi ho sakta hai idhar. There is nothing, nobody can stop this thing from happening organically. At that moment, if organically you are unable to fight back the enemies of such level and they are burning down your house, you will get the kripa of the deity and your sadhana will stand and help you out. The Guru Kripa will help you. The Guru Mandala, the parampara of the Guru will help you to surrender it and organically, spiritually take you down. But if there is a path that is seen that ye kar raha hai ye, he is doing this to me back to back, I can see it and visualize it, then organically if there is a path, then you have to shoot the arrow and take them down. When Arjuna, finally when he stood at the battlefield, both the Kauravas are standing opposite to them, the entire army, and there Arjuna is standing this side with their entire army. He tells Sri Krishna, please take the chariot to the middle of this path and let me look at both the armies. He looks at both the armies. Until then, Sri Krishna was a great friend, mentor, at best a mentor, an advisor. A lot of love between Sri Krishna and Arjuna. But the moment Arjuna and Sri Krishna takes the chariot and takes the chariot to the middle of the field, and Arjuna is able to now look at both the armies, his entire Shakti wanes and he falls. He goes to absolute zero state like a newborn baby that has been thrown into an international airport. What will it do? It starts crying, it doesn't understand anything. Arjuna starts panicking. It is at that moment that the Guru Mandala comes to rescue Arjuna. How? That moment he simply looks at Sri Krishna. Neither is he a relative nor is he at that moment a friend. At that moment he is not just another warrior on the field. He is nothing. At that moment Arjuna sees Sri Krishna and only realizes the Guru Tattva within. He sees Sri Krishna not as a friend, not as a fellow warrior from his side, nothing. At that moment for Arjuna it was completely the Guru Tattva alone that was visible in Sri Krishna, not the divinity or anything of that sort, but it was Guru. He completely prostrates before Sri Krishna and asks him for the marga, right? So, Panchali's lesson is very simply saying that organically there is nothing to do. Surrender to the deity, invoke the Guru Kripa. Organically, there is a way to do. What did the Guru tell Arjuna? Pick the arrow and shoot. Nothing else will work now. Organic way. Hey, you are being created as a warrior. You have been created as an IT professional. You have been created as a branch head, as an architect, as an engineer who has visualized something going wrong. And there is a way by which you can pick up the arrow and shoot the arrow of truth, and thereby establish dharma. To tujhe karna padega. But like Panchali, you have nothing to do, nothing at all that you can do to save yourself. Then the deity will take care of it. You have to attain shunyata, that is, be non-reactive. Come to your asana and then shoot the arrow at the deity. Only you can save me now. So analyze kar lo. Where do you fit? Organic, shoot. Inorganic, nothing is seen, surrender. So the two ways in which you can take down somebody who's trying to burn everything around you. Burn your life, burn your projects, burn your career. This enemy has to be categorically looked at and kept in the sight. You cannot pretend that this person is no longer enemy. The first instant that the person shows that this person is trying to burn you, immediately two sides. Arjuna looking at Sri Krishna, the Guru Tattva is telling, what do I do? Shoot the arrow. Panchali looking at Sri Krishna helplessly, you shoot the arrow, Krishna. I cannot, because I am helpless. Two ways. There is two paths here. Understand and take a path. So the arsonist, the one who is trying to light a fire in your career life, married life, your love life, your relationship between your father and you, your mother and you, brothers and sisters, siblings, partners of jobs, jo bhi ho, anybody trying to light a fire there should be visualized and specifically taken out in two ways that I mentioned. By the Guru Marg of taking the arrow and shooting, or by invocation of the deity. Both are through Guru only. However, deity will ultimately take them down. Karmically, the hit will come, and in front of your eyes, you will see them detaching. But there's a catch here. You will only see it happening when you have completely detached from the results of it, and also before it happens, you have to forgive your enemy. This is a catch. Otherwise, it will not work. You all go and sit in your asana and you start crying, oh, please save us. This person is so bad, destroy him, destroy him. I want to get the pleasure of seeing them get destroyed. If you want to get the pleasure of seeing them get destroyed, you are no longer going to see that happen, because that also creates the Rananubandhana, where you are now taken pleasure out of it. You are not shunya. You are taken pleasure. So, Sri Krishna very categorically tells Panchali, before the Kuru, after the incident of disrobing and all that, you are the cause for this entire Kurukshetra, but before it happens, you have to forgive Duryodhana completely, else it can never even start. What is the meaning of that? So, यहाँ पे arrow shoot करके Arjun gets all the benefit of going through the emotions of, yes, I'm feeling bad कि I'm shooting at my relative. I'm also feeling good that the arrow correctly shot him and he's neutralized because I shot the arrow, right? He's doing both, but Arjuna gets the ability to take that pleasure because he has worked for that arrow, has put his energy into the arrow and has shot the relative down. So he's okay. But this side, when it is through the deity that you are trying to take down your exceptionally dangerous enemy, you do not get to say that I take the pleasure out of this. Hey Bhairava, destroy this enemy so that I can enjoy seeing his fall. Ye work hi nahi karega. So there are some, just few days back, there was a young girl asking me that no matter how much I try, I am not able to get out of that anger at my relatives. My answer is very simple. Till you do not detach from the anger that you have towards that relative and thereby wanting to see their fall ही नहीं आएगा. Because the deity also will ensure that you attain shunyata, and then you see them fall, you feel nothing. Because neither the relative exists, neither you exist. You think that you are in this body and you are consciously the body and you are the experience that the body is going through. But no, you are just here to learn. The Atma, the small amsha of Atma is going through the filter that is this body and experiencing this state of Prakriti. The consciousness thinks it is Praveen. The consciousness thinks it is Shruti. It thinks that it is Rahul. It is not. Right? So you must learn to not continue that Rananubandhana of then enjoying the fall of your enemy, which you caused through the deity, which becomes as good as a prayoga without a single ritual. If the deity takes out your enemy and you enjoy it, it becomes an absolute karmic cycle again and again. Gaya tera. So both the Smashana deities Maakali, Bhairava. Deities like this will never allow you to see that until you are in the state of the Smashana and say, Shunyata Duryodhan Gira to bhi mujhe kuch nahi hai, I have already forgiven him, but it was wrong, so I think he has to fall. That level of Vairagya you should attain. Only then it works. Which one works? The Panchali way. Next one. Attack with a deadly weapon. It could be something that will absolutely destroy your career, absolutely break down your marriage, absolutely bring you to the streets. One thing that if some enemy does towards you, that will bring you to the streets and make you nothing. There are sab kuch gaya, all the efforts that you took gone. That one thing. Anybody who tries to use that one thing, that will absolutely take you to the state of losing everything and intense pain. Yes, karmically, you might be meant for that, but anybody who's doing that should be visualized and understood as an extremely dangerous enemy, and there should be no leeway in waiting till they react, waiting till they do. No. Arrow hai to shoot karo, arrow nahi hai to immediately, every single day, be non-reactive, come to your asana and surrender that to the deity and say, I forgive him, but I realize that he is going to do this to me, destroy him. It is a dharma to my eyes, destroy him. If it is truly a dharma, the deity will take them out. But provided, like I said, you should be at the state of shunyata. You should not be waiting, Are kab hoga? Are, he's going on the road. Aaj helmet nahi pehna. I hope he falls down. Nahi hoga. With Bhairava, with Maakali, it will not happen. Many people think that Maakali will. Let me tell you this also, a little bit of comfort. So, is Maakali too soft? No. When she hits, the hit will be so bad. It will be so tremendously scary. That the one that you are, no, when you sit at a pedestal and you've said that, yes, Akarra dharmi hai, isko maro ma. And you are the one who caused that. Destroy him, ma. He is like this. I will detach from the results of it. In spite of that, let me tell you, when you see that she is the one who's hitting, it will be so scary that even if it is your worst enemy, there will be a moment where your insides itself will start trembling because the hits that she gives is like that. Streets. You can see that the next 5-10 years of that person's life will be marred with destruction. Whatever he touches will go to zero. There will be no glory. There will be no smile. Ekdam zero. Gadi destroyed. House destroyed. Career destroyed. That is how Kali hits. So, when you go and sit in front of her and she has taken a mild bit of liking, there is nothing that can save you. Once a sincere sadhaka of Maakali who's only taught as Kali and he has surrendered and attained Shunyata and said, Ma, he was wrong. I am at the state of Shunya. Aap dekh lo, and wo chala jata hai na. When he forgets this, that he has done this, then comes the hit. And I can give you with evidence that the hits that Devi gives, it is so tremendously dangerous that if you are not at the state of Shunya, that itself will cause you to in future go through that. That is why Shunyata has to be attained very, very fast in the state of Kali. You cannot go to her and say that take him down, ma, and I want to watch it, because even that she will do. But kya ho jata hai? If she is ultimately at the state of karma is everything for her. What is her dress? She wears karma. So she will also put you through that. Dekh legi, sambhal legi, but it will be very painful because her fin Kali hits. It is that cosmic blackness that you see on an Amavasya night. That is going to descend. Kya Z category protection? Kya 1,000 crore ka armies around you? Kuch nahi hoga. Ekdam, everything will crumble. Your house might be protected by 100 bodyguards. Outside your house, there will be another 100 bodyguards. The local police station is protecting you. Everything is there. But if the hit is coming from Kali, let me tell you, wo ghar ke andar itna highly protected, such a protected house, in that, in your comfortable 5 lakh wala bed that you have, 5 lakh mattress, comfortably, you're having an OG AC, perfect. Every day your bed sheets are cleaned and kept prim, proper. You have 15 housekeepers, everything. But on that bed, as you lie, you will be crumbling in dismay, depression, pain, lack of sleep. And that state of mental health will be worse than the beggar who's just outside your house, sleeping under a small plastic sheet, and even the rain drops are dripping onto his bed, and the sleep that he gets will be 100% more comfortable and good than the one that you are going through. When she hits, nothing can stop. Let me tell you, when Kali When Kali, he who has attained the protection of Kali, when Kali hits, it is complete vidvansh. That is why when Ma Panchali, who's the name of Kali, Sri Krishna tells him, do you forgive? Forgive. Forgive kar liya. Now you see what I do. The entire Bharata will go to zero. Only 11, the number of Kali, will stand. Destruction. So, if you are a Kali sadhaka, you are going and sitting at her altar, be very careful and keep the thoughts pious, because even she will itself give you shunyata, and you might have wished for a small thing that an enemy did to you. Even you will not be able to bear the hit that she gives them. It will be like that. But Shri Krishna says, it has to be done, it has to be done. You have to attain the shunyata to handle it. But the hits, I divulged a little and went off in her leela. But when she hits, vidvansh, it is Kurukshetra. Entire earth will tremble. 1,000 crore empire cannot save somebody. Itna hota hai uska. So I want Kali. If you have this thought, oh okay, she itna marti hai, acha hai, then I should do Kali sadhana. You will not be able to do Kali sadhana. Kali sadhana can only be done in order to attain oneness with Maakali. And yes, बहुत dangerously protective mother hai wo. There was a photograph. The Vahana of Smashan Kali is the Indian jackal, right? What is the scientific name? Is Canis lupus familiaris, or yeah, that's what I think it is. You guys can check it and mention in the comment. So there is an eagle that is swooping down and taking one of the jackal babies, and it has almost touched about the takeoff. It has swooped down, taken the pup of a jackal, Indian female jackal. It has risen up almost right proper 8-10 feet. It has already risen, and the wildlife photographer is taking the picture. Okay, the jackal is chasing it on the ground. She has just jumped a little bit. She's on the mid-air. Eagle is still comfortably 5-6 feet above, but she drops the pup. It never happens. Eagles, you know, if you've seen National Geographic Channel, you know how they are. But she drops it because uska aisa hai. The Vahana, on the ground, she was able to get that eagle to drop that baby. Kali is like that. That is why you don't ever mess with somebody who has even had a little bit of kripa. If somebody's tongue speaks Kali, you don't mess with. तो ये छोटा छोटा जो दिखता है तुम्हें कि I can poke, I can pull. Even to my enemies, I would say don't do it, because when it comes, the day I forget your name, in the sense a Kali sadhaka, the day you forget the name of your enemy, she might even be taking care of you to such an extent that you don't even realize how much she has destroyed their life. She's like that, and evidentially I've seen this in my life. So, my dear Kali sadhaka, when you go and sit in the path, especially if you're doing one of the sadhanas that I've given you, mind को थोड़ा clear करके enemy है, destroy करना ही है, तो get ready. The hit will be tremendous. It will be earth shattering. But make sure that you are not connected to it too and enjoying it and having popcorn while watching Duryodhana die. No, shed a tear. अरे माँ ने कर दिया है. I know the pain, and I'm with you in this pain, and walk away. Don't sit there and have the popcorn. Enemy hai, destroy karna hai. Shri Krishna has said that it has to be destroyed, but don't sit and have the popcorn. It will destroy you. The third enemy that has to be destroyed, the one who misuses the nation's resources. So here again, it is as per Dharma Shastra, how a king has to rule the kingdom and all that. But here, please understand that Kshetra is you and your surrounding itself. You and your company, you and your psyche, you and your house, you and your street, you and the small shop you run. This is all your Kshetra. And the enemy who is trying to misuse the resources inside your shop, your house, your street is to be destroyed. If you don't destroy these enemies that I have mentioned, you are held responsible for it. You have to now have, okay, in that video where I speak about rebirth and how to chart your next birth, I will give you the secret of this. But you have to destroy these enemies, otherwise there is a cause for your rebirth in it. We will speak in that video. So anybody who is misusing the resources of your nation, your company, your house, any specific entity that you are heading, you might be a secretary of an apartment, you might be a secretary of a Vinayaka का पंडल वो होता है, दुर्गा पूजा पंडल, Any misuse that happens there, simple examples I'm giving you. I'm trying to just crush it down so that I can break it even more in your head and give you that idea of what it is. A small 5-member cricket team that you have, a small rink football team, anything that you head or administer as the king, Simhasana diya hai. All Simhasana Nivasani. So anything that falls under your purview, and if there is a misuse happening, you have to destroy that person. You have to catch the collar and throw them out. No emotions attached. You cannot say, "Arey, it's okay na." See, you will lose the grace of Kali so fast. You will lose the grace of Kali so fast, and she'll immediately push you down to the other Mahavidyas, and she will leave. She is Simhasana Nivasini, and in the path of Kali, be very sure that the second anything that you are being placed into the Simhasana, the moment you are sitting there, she is with you. And also here I would like to divulge a little bit and tell you, the moment Kali's mild touch hits you, anything and everything, entire surrounding me, where there is a little bit of power, it will fall on you. The most powerful people will always land up in your house. The most powerful positions, even if it's a small secretary wala position of an apartment, tere ghar mein aa jayega. It will be with you only. Everything will surround you. तो जहां पे भी है तो तेरे ऊपर कोई नहीं होगा. This is a 1000% assured sign कि she has seen you, she has visualized you, and she likes you, plain and simple. अच्छा लगता है, she likes you. Power is the first and foremost proof that she has taken a liking towards you. She will put power on, and at that moment tera treadmill is also on. Be ready. Somebody misusing anything in that place should be destroyed, thrown, crumbled, crushed, and raktapa. So are you going to physically go and drink their blood? No, but destroy them. Don't care about what they think. Tera wo good image, Kali ke paas rakho wo good image. Surrender it and say, Ma Devi, it is my dharma that I have to remove this person who has misused it. I will throw them out. However, I am detached from the result of it, not from the result of what he will now do to me. Wo mera hi nahi hai. And let me tell you, very unlikely that anytime I've done this in my life, okay, I will be posting a video on my career very soon. There is a pivotal turning point in my career. I've been telling about this video for a very long time, but ab aa raha hai. Now the time is coming. Anytime I have seen a dharma and taken it down, I have never had a backlash. Not even once. And I'm not even joking. I have taken down a dharma to such an extent that people have got crumbled and destroyed. The ladder itna bhi ucha hoga, they get destroyed, and none of them will even have the time to think ki isko kya kare, usko kya kare. Only Kali. So Simhasana comes with Kali, and once it comes, she also puts the clock on your head and says that let's check your eligibility to keep this place. So she will also destroy you. Nation's resource simply does not mean that you are a king. You are a king already. You are a queen already. There are 10 people that work for you. There is a maid in your house. There is a house that you call a house, even if it is rented. Please understand that the testing has begun. So you have to destroy that enemy. It is a deadly enemy. The one who misuses the resources attached to the nation. That could be anything and everything that you govern. Invaders. Anybody trying to take down your Simhasana. Invaders. Anybody trying to destroy your projects, your small promotions, your career, wo jo bhi hai, every moment you are being watched in the Kali path. You have to hold yourself at that highest state and say that, Ma, if I find that this person is adharmi, destroy karna hi padega. Two ways, organic, like Arjuna looks at Sri Krishna, Krishna says, you have to shoot, no other go. That's why I made you the best archer. I made you the best archer because you have to shoot. Ma Panchali, what she did? She stood there and said that I forgive them and I am the cause of Kurukshetra, and thereby I also detach myself from the result of it. Karna hi padega. Invader se bhi. Even the worst invader you have to detach and invoke your deities. It is a prayoga only of sorts, but it does not have karma because you are not taking pleasure in it, but it is dharma. It will not incur karma because you are setting dharma, and but it is only dharma if you are detached from the result of the destruction of your enemy. Otherwise, tu gaya. I'm telling you right now. She will make you also witness, because everything has a creation. So she's destroying somebody. You also need to see yourself getting destroyed at that level so that you know the pain of it. But if you're detached from it, that means that I realize it is going to be very painful and I have done it only for dharma, then you're safe. Even for the invader. Now put this into every facet of your life and analyze it. Invasion can have multiple meanings. Somebody invading into your property, somebody invading into your mind space where they're not letting you operate dharmically in your daily karma yoga. It is also invasion. Invasion is not just physical takeover, it is also mental takeover of your psyche. It is all invasion, right? हमारा आज का रील्स का गेम, all this is invasion. You have to take it down. Yeah, I do invasion. Kidnap or usurping the family bloodline. Any attempt to usurp the bloodline, because she's Udira Priya and you are the guardian of your bloodline. Whether you procreate or don't procreate, whether you are having a great marriage or not having a great marriage, you have to hold and absolutely master the bloodline. Bloodline protection is your duty and your dharma. You cannot move away from anything or any act or any moment or any hint that somebody is going to take down your bloodline. You have to get down and number one, if you are being created as an exceptional archer who can take them down, take them down. If you're not an exceptional archer, you are at that moment of pain, surrender by detachment, but karna padega. You cannot say that I will ignore it and I will pretend to be a monk and sit under this tree. No, it will not happen. Then you are unfit to go in the path of Kali. Kali's path, destruction of enemies, has to happen and you have to experience, feel the pain and detach and attain shunyata. It is Paurnami and the energies in my house are extreme. From the last 24 hours, it's been extreme. Animals, everybody. I myself have been 360-degree whirlwind. Everything, anger, greed, jealousy, happiness, everything is just. You also might be experiencing, if you are a Kali Sadhaka, this sort of things will happen. So, Simhasana Nivasani, one of our names, the Simhasana comes to you very organically in small tick marks. She puts in small spaces, she'll give it to you first immediately. It could be a small WhatsApp group that you're the admin of. Take it carefully and be dharma. Dharma becomes the first. If you find anybody trying to set fire inside, I'm going to give the example of WhatsApp group, small group that you're heading for a small purpose. Anybody is trying to set fire continuously, destroy them. How? Organic, inorganic path I've given you through Karma Yoga, through deity. Anybody trying to put a deadly weapon into your mission or something that is your purpose or something that you are supposed to protect now. This first small WhatsApp group could be the reason, could be the first test. Do it right. WhatsApp ho ya office ho ya project ho, multi-million-dollar project ho. Do it right. You do that right, Simhasana will keep on rising. Test hai, it's a test. Misuse of the nation's resources. Even the smallest purpose that lands up at your face and tells you do this, and you find there is misuse happening, decimate them, destroy them. If you are the one who is misusing your resources that are given you for a specific purpose of the Simhasana has come to you. Simhasana has come to you and sitting on Simhasana misusing it, or you find that somebody is misusing and you do not react to it, you will find yourself losing your grace very fast. Invasion, occupation of your space, occupation of that which you are supposed to, the Kshetrapala, you are the Kshetrapala of a specific mission, a specific WhatsApp group, a specific job that has been bestowed upon you. Do it with so much sincerity that you protect it too. Organically, jo karna hai kar le. You don't think that, okay, if I put this mail, they will all come after me. Kar le, you will be protected, they will not even exist. Guarantee. I will speak about all this subsequently. Kuch din bache hain that Adesh will come. Just few more days, but I will speak in detail how you will never get destroyed, provided you are detached from the fall of the enemy. Wo very important. If you are attached, then you are still powering that feeling, and the enemy also subconsciously usko bhi realization aayega ki ye enjoy kar raha hai, usi ne kiya, he'll come after you and he'll destroy you also. So it is not that you shoot the arrow. Why is the arrow the foremost weapon? Because the arrow immediately detaches from you. And you can even turn around. Even if you turn around, the arrow is still going to hit there, because at that moment you are looking at the target, but the moment you turn around, Parashurama's axe, however, it never detaches. right? Srimad Ramas detaches. That is why Arjuna detaches. Sarva Shrestha. Arjuna versus Karna, archers. So, shoot karo or detach karo. Detach nahi karoge, to you are in the ranadu bandhana of continuously getting hit, and this has to be applied in every facet of your life, especially Kali ke path mein ho, to you have to destroy the 5 enemies, no matter what. Bloodline. The one who tries to destroy your bloodline has to be decimated and destroyed. Only you get to destroy and attain mastery of the bloodline. You yourself will attain and destroy those facets of your bloodline which has to be de-weeded and cleaned. But if anybody from external spaces is trying to destroy your bloodline, make it unstable and throw it to the streets, usko destroy karna padega. 2 ways again. Organic, if you are made as an exceptional archer, shoot the arrow and you will be fine. Then you get to enjoy the results of it also, because tune hi day and night you have made yourself an exceptional archer, and you come to that stage, you get to enjoy it. But if this is the way and you're surrendering to the deity, you do not get to enjoy it. Pleasure le liya to gayi. That is what I told the young girl. If you take pleasure, it will not even happen. The deity is kind enough that the deity will not let it happen. Nahi, tu ready nahi hai. Hook to, keep on burning, smashan bano. The day this enmity that you're surrendering to me, the day it becomes a smashan, I will take them down and it will become an absolute vidvansh. And let me tell you, you will also feel bad. Looking at all the dead Kauravas, you will itself feel bad. But the Atma does not incur karma. That is the secret. When life gives you in the Kali path smallest bits of power, it comes in the smallest ways and it rapidly rises. Power will chase you to such an extent that you will find it sickening. You will find it sickening कि अरे सब कुछ मेरे ऊपर ही क्यों है. In my life it has been like that. Anything, I will sit very comfortably inside 4 walls and say I am not getting involved in all that. Power will come. It will come. Somebody will be starting a new organization somewhere. Somebody will be starting a new club, a society. मुझे बुला के बिठा देंगे, and pressure will come from all directions. The people who you cannot directly, judges and all that, who you cannot directly approach, they will phone and force me. No, you only have to do it. So that is a sign of Kali. And what should you do? You should be detached from that. So I always, I try to avoid and all that. Ultimately, I also say, okay, I'll do it. So detach from that moment, your power comes towards you, itself begin your detachment game. That it has been come to me, it's a test. I will take care of it. Dharma hai, Raja Dharma hai, I will take care of this. But I am not attached to the idea of sitting in the Simhasana. But once I have sat the 5 enemies, I will destroy them to such an extent that Devi should say, ye karega. And that is how you attain the higher states of realization, higher states of birth. If you are birthed to a small space where you are a supervisor to 5 sweepers, 5 sweeper hain aur unke supervisor ho, and you are enjoying causing pain to them, night shift kara rahe ho unse, purposely you are taking commission from the salary, you think you will have a higher birth? Think and see. You are a small branch ka manager ho, rural city mein, tere niche there are 4 people who work under you, unko pain cause kar rahe ho, you think you will rise higher? No. Pain you will cause if it is dharmically meant that the pain should come to the person who's under you, and that is the duty that you have, but not to have pleasure of causing them pain. There is a difference. Detach from the pleasure of causing pain even while disbursement of duty. Ye seekh lo. Then you will be the monk who is sitting on the Simhasana, and the Simhasana will become bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It will only rise. It will only rise. Learn how to handle the Simhasana. Learn that you do not have the right to show sympathy to somebody and say, Acha, it's okay, leave it. No, gaya. That second you lost, the next growth, the next height of the Simhasana that will come to you is gone. Immediately gone. But when you're sitting over there and you find somebody who's very correctly voicing out their opinion, but you think, Acha, isko to marta hu. 2-3 log hain hamare who just make noise online. इनको भेज के इनका नाम को मैं spoil करूंगा and I will just enjoy. तेरा end is decided, fate sealed, higher नहीं होगा. Whatever you reached, उसके बाद you will only come down. You will come down very fast. That height, due to some kripa, you will sit there and then it will go. Wherever you sit, be so sincerely detached from that Simhasana Be so sincere in disbursement of duties towards that Simhasana. Be sincere in destroying those who are trying to destroy the dharma of that Simhasana. And be detached from the experience of it. When can you be attached to from the experience of it? Only and only when you have been working for the last 10 years and your purpose itself is the detachment. If an army man is completely trained to take down the terrorist and he's taking down the terrorist at that moment, yes, I got the shot. He is allowed and he is not given the karma of that. उसको भी pain आएगा if he brutally enjoys that. But to take pleasure in that moment of win is fine and accepted. So when organically you are meant to destroy somebody, हो रहा है, you have to do it. Organically to you are the branch head of a unit, the head of a unit. And यहाँ पे you have found that somebody is misusing the resource, somebody is planting fire, somebody is using a very dangerous weapon that is to probably demotivate the staff and destroy your purpose, that is the Simhasana has come to you. Destroy that person, that enemy. However, do not be attached to the feeling of that destruction. Simple, it sounds simple, it is complicated. Attempt to it, that itself is a tick mark for Kali. Attempt karega, she'll take care of you. Rise hoga hi hoga. So in your career also, the 5 people are very significant. That 5 enemies are very significant, and it's a test that Kali will put you through. It will begin with a small 5-member team. It will go to a 5-member, 5-floor wala office. Then it will go to a 5-city wala office. Then it will go to a 5-state. It will go to a 5-country. If that is all you are limiting yourself to. But if you say you have a mission that should go for 10,000 years, then you have to be that much. You should have that standard. Fall of your enemy is not a victory. Fall of your enemy is you surrendering and telling, Ma, dekho ma, the one who has done this, I have destroyed and thrown them out. Now you have to give me the higher because I've proven to be eligible and I am not attached. I, on the other hand, have karuna towards his destruction because I wish he knew better. I tried to tell him to. It is also good to try and tell him, Duryodhan se 2 baar baat karo. Duryodhan is also her son only, right? So nothing of it is actually existing. It's all Maya. But she has thrown that Duryodhana in front of you. Tell him, Arey Duryodhana, this is wrong that you are doing. You are planting fire, you are using deadly weapon, you are trying to misuse nation's resources, you are trying to destroy the bloodline, that is the flow of organization purpose. इसको destroy करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो, you are invading into spaces that you are not meant to come. ये सब मत करो. Duryodhana mocks at you and continues to do it. Completely you're safe after that, any action that you take. क्योंकि तूने वो moment you have actually imbibed the Guru Tattva and tried to teach him, you're absolutely safe from anything that will befall you. You are fine. So I hope today's video makes sense to people, because many of you, especially the ones who are following this channel and doing Kali Sadhana, be ready. Simhasana is coming. It will begin very small. You mess up, you lose it. After that, it's very difficult to get it back. Don't mess up. Don't misuse power. You are merely a tenant to the body itself. The body that you're sitting in, the consciousness is sitting and witnessing everything, you're a tenant to it. Tab to Simhasana, which is not even the body, you're an absolute tenant. You will never own it. Even the body is not owned, so the body sits on a Simhasana. Do you own it? Forget owning it. You don't even rent it. It is just there as a test. Are you going to be Sri Rama, or are you going to be Ramana? Both are manifestations of the Divine Mother. Test hai. Yahan pe rise, you know what will happen. She will accompany and be with you. Yahan pe she will take you down and send you downwards, and then you have to rise again. Which is better? When you sit down for the deity and pray for destruction of somebody who has harmed you, be sure that at that moment you have detached from it. Nahi to, it is merely a cycle, then you will come to that side. The video which I will post about rebirth, once she gives me the permission, the rebirth, how do you chart your rebirth? How do you realize where you're going to take birth again? Iska bahut simply you can find out from your own character. If you attain Shunyata and keep yourself as 10 facets and look at yourself, you'll know what is your rebirth. We'll go into it later. On a very hot day, the topic was exceptional and I have managed to just power through. Bhairava Kalike Namostute. Om Namo Bhairavaya Namo. Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma. Jai Shri Rama Khepa, Jai Shri Shama Khepa, Jai Khepa, Parampara, Jai Madhya, Jai Madhya, Jai Madhya, Jai Madhya Mahakali, Jai Madhya.